are going to do is we're going to tell you a little bit about who we are, what we do, how we work and function, where we're located, and some of the problems that we can have, especially if we're not taken care of properly. Now, the kidney is a reddish-brown, bean-shaped organ with an adrenal gland that sits on top. Has a smooth outer surface and is lined with simple cuboidal epithelial tissue.
Now, the bladder is a smooth, muscular sac, like so, and is lined with transitional epithelium. This type of tissue is what allows the bladder to expand under different volumes of urine.
All right. Now, the adult kidney is roughly 12 centimeters long, 6 centimeters wide, and 3 centimeters thick. They're located in the upper superior lumbar region. And normally there are 2 kidneys and 2 ureters, but his partner isn't here today. Now, the kidney, right one, sits a little bit lower than the left kidney. Although it probably just looks that way because he's short, and that's why he seems low.
Fair enough. So, the average adult bladder is also 12 centimeters tall. It holds anywhere from 1 pint to 2 pints of urine. I know some of you would swear that your bladder is the size of a golf ball at times, but is in fact 1 to 2 pints. Now, the idea of removing this waste from the body is called voiding.
Yeah, I'd like to void him. So the purpose of the kidney is to regulate and control the composition and volume of the blood and how it's filtered through the body. Now the kidney also filters out metabolic waste, and it passes that metabolic waste to me in the form of urine so that I can excrete it outside the body through my urethra. Now additionally, he also helps control and regulate the rate of red blood cell production with erythroproteins, calcium ion absorption with calciferol synthesizing, and also blood pressure regulation with renin enzymes.
Yeah, I do way, way more than he does. All he has to do is sit downstream, take urine that I produce through the ureter, hang on to it until it's time to remove it from the body. Not much. Ready, buddy?
All right.
All right. Now, a few diseases that can happen to the urinary system. Like he mentioned earlier, my partner isn't here. That a friend of ours was diagnosed with chronic glomerulonephritis. Big word, try to say it 10 times fast, I can barely say it once. It's an inflammation of the filtering unit inside the kidney. Now, this can come in an acute or a chronic form. The symptoms are very, very similar, whether it's either form of the disease. Some signs and symptoms are fever, loss of appetite, swelling around the ankles and eyes, and also cloudy, smoky-colored urine. If you start to experience these symptoms, chances are your primary care provider will recommend a urinalysis. Now, a urinalysis in people that have this disease is going to come back with high levels of electrolytes, creatines, and urea nitrogen. Once this test comes back, to finally confirm the disease, they'll send you either a CAT scan or an X-ray. Once it is determined that you have this disease, first step is prevention. They will put you on diet and water restrictions. Now, this is to prevent you from going into end-stage kidney failure. If, in fact, the diet and water restrictions do not work and you end up in end-stage kidney failure, the first of 2 options is hemodialysis. That is where they put in a shunt in your radiobrachial artery. One is an out, one is an in. It goes out to a dialysis machine, which in turn filters your blood and does exactly what your kidney would normally do. If this does not work, the only other option left is a kidney transplant. We actually played rock, paper, scissors. I won, he lost, he's gone, I'm here. So, another common kidney disease is renal calculi. Now, does anyone know what renal calculi is?
Kidney stones.
Kidney stones, exactly. Now, these stones are very painful. In fact, they're so painful because not necessarily in the kidney, in the ureter, even in the bladder, but in the urethra. The average kidney stone is anywhere from 1 to 5 inches in 5 centimeters. Now, the problem with that is much larger than the human urethra. So passing them is very, very painful.
Ow.
Now,
Ow.
the only real medication, the only real treatment to pass these is pain medication and excessive fluids. This helps pass them. Now, there are other options, such as going in, up the urethra, with a retrieval tool, and moving them out. The last option is the least common, it's called lithotripsy, and this is where the patient is put into a tub and exposed to exterior shock waves to break these down into smaller sizes to make them easier to pass.
Ah.
Get that?
Yeah, get the phone call.
Right now?
Hello? Bladder here.
Bladder here.
Really?
You believe this guy?
Uh-huh. Oh. When? I gotta talk that over with my partners. Partner. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Okay. Bye.
Who's that? Why is it so important?
That was my oncologist.
Oh, great, now you have cancer.
Yeah, apparently I do. I have bladder cancer, and the problem is normally bladder cancer is small enough a lot of times they can just cut out the little bit of the cancer, and I'd be all right.
That sounds like the best way to go. We should do that.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I didn't catch it quick enough, so now apparently it's growing, and I'm down to 2 options: either a combination of chemotherapy, drugs, and radiation, or they're just going to have to completely cut me out altogether and get rid of me.
We're not doing the chemo. It's way too many side effects.
Well, yeah, there was a lot of side effects. You wouldn't believe all the side effects he was just telling me, just a couple of them.
Like what?
It was like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, irritability, loss of sleep, loss of hair, loss of appetite, loss of sex drive, depression, suicidal thoughts, homicidal thoughts, weight loss, weight gain, insomnia, infertility, tingling, shaking, weakness, dizziness, tiredness, and death.
That last one sounds kind of rough.
Yeah, well, it sucks for me too. I'm not a big fan of death. So I've been thinking a lot about this over the last 18 seconds. So what I think I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to pass on the chemo and the radiation, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, you know what, buddy? Sayonara, and you are on your own, and I'm going to leave you to do all the work, and you get to hold this. I'm going to the keys. Bladder out.
Any questions?